Welcome to the jam. Oh shit, we're on.
That was awesome.
It's now live.
Live.
Of course, is the one obvious thing.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. You are watching Splash Pages. My name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have an awesome show scheduled for you, as always. We're going to be doing a special live read today after we cover the comic book news. So we're going to get right into it. Carrie, how's it going?
Hey, everybody. It's going pretty good. Really excited for the live read tonight. We got to do more of these, and we're starting to where we're getting to do more of these. And we have a special guest on with us tonight to do the live read with us, so I think it's going to go great. I'm having a great day. Let's see how everybody else is doing. What?
Who's the special guest?
Well, our very own Mr. Justin Cooper.
I'm pleased to be here for the unabridged and unedited version of Huckleberry Finn, Chapter 1. No.
Hold on, what did he just say?
And we're canceled. That's good.
Oh, it's just my box. Hey, good to see you out of the box, Leo. Like, really, really nice to make your acquaintance again.
Yeah, I know, but sorry, go ahead.
Box was a good look. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. It's the problem is I have still way too many boxes. I need to finish.
Yeah, no kidding. It looks like you're being eaten by boxes now, although you're out of the box. There's just mountains behind you.
There are. Mr. Drew.
Hey, everybody. So we're here again. We're here again, and I literally feel that that devil that used to be on my shoulder is someplace else. I wonder why. So we have a great show, a lot of good stuff coming up, and yeah, I think that's enough I can say for now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get right into it. But just real quick, did everybody see the Superman pictures?
No, but I know you're gonna show them now because you're such a fanboy of it.
No, I'm not gonna show them.
Why not show them?
Oh.
Come on, we're nerds.
Because I haven't seen them.
Oh, fine, never mind then.
How can you bring something up? This is like, oh hey, I have this thing for show and tell, but it's for me, but not for everybody. It's like having a cookie, but then you didn't
show you. But I will tell you barely a little bit. Here's
hold on, and they got new ones. What the hell?
Yeah, if him is.
I do know in terms. Okay, I do know I saw photos of Superman, and I know some people are so now about the collar for Superman. I'm like, okay, whatever, doesn't matter. But I did remember seeing images of the guy playing Mr. Terrific, and I was like, he looks great.
For real. Looks angry.
He has very, very curly hair.
That's fine.
I just want to say, if his hair is going to be all messy while he's Clark, does he brush it before he becomes Superman?
No, that's what
Gel.
Jar. That's what.
Wow.
Nice,
She is
Jar. That's what the wind is for, my man.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say, Justin?
She looks fantastic there. Like that's Lois Lane.
Totally.
Yeah.
Perfect casting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. But I mean, for her, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. See, you got Superman, and that's Mr. Terrific, and that looks great.
Yep.
Small details. Like I said, I know some people are so about the collar on Superman suit, but I was like, who cares?
Once it gets edited in all that stuff, it looks fantastic as it is. I think the colors are really like popping. Very new 52-ish.
Yeah. Very, very much. Yep.
All right, Leo, you can put it away now.
And it's definitely better than Smallville, right?
They're talking about an animated version of that coming out. They were talking about it on their podcast there. I forget the guy's name.
Oh, talking about Michael Rosenblum's?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that
who posted this?
I saw that too. I was just like, it posted like 6 times from different pages.
He does like fair play.
Yeah.
So he could be our Mr. Terrific. It's okay. But then who would be Jimmy Olsen? Would it be Jar? I was like, no.
He's too tall.
That's true. It's okay. It's okay. Jar's already our Scarecrow. He's gangly and terrifying.
I see you as a Ralph Dibny.
Oh, that could work.
The elongated man. I could see you as that. You got kind of that inquisitive detective nature,
Are you saying you can see his nose twitching when there's a mystery?
Yeah, I could see that.
I just have a big nose.
So was Samantha a detective because her nose twitched?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on.
Can't do that.
So
Samantha from Bewitched. Sorry, old.
I hope we all knew.
No, I know. I just can't figure out how she did that because it's. Can you do it? I can't.
Movie magic.
We can move our lips, but not our noses.
So
this is what we do, guys.
So since we do have a live read, I think we should I hate to feel like the teacher here, the chaperone, but I think we should just jump right into the news. So,
but before the news, we need to do.
Leo, that's great that you brought it up because today is your turn.
I know. Hold on, let me bring up my notes.
Leo Pond today.
Yeah, but of course Leo gets lucky because there's only usually like one story.
Here we go. Okay. So, Marvel Comics has announced a delightful twist for their upcoming Venom War series. So, award-winning artist Chris Giarrusso, known for his charming mini Marvels work, will be creating special variant covers for all 5 issues of the series. These variants will be Giarrusso's playful recreations of the Iban Coelho's main covers, bringing a cute and lighthearted take to Symbiote Showdown. And I don't believe this is it. Let me.
Oh no, that's the Iban Coelho.
Yeah.
Right. These are those covers, and then.
Yeah, and then I'm talking about the cutesy ones.
Yeah, there you go. See,
cool.
Yeah,
that's
way better.
I'm sorry. I've met Chris more than a few times. I have some of his artwork on my wall, and he's just his stuff, especially the mini Marvels, are always just so fun. So I agree with Justin. As much as Iban does great work, these are top notch. Like I would 100% buy these.
Yeah.
Look at
So,
the detail.
Venom War is set to be a major event in the symbiote storyline. Another symbiote storyline. So pitting Eddie and Dylan Brock against each other in a battle to become the one true Venom. The series is written by Al Ewing and illustrated by Ivan Coelho, and who will also provide the main covers. Giarusso's variant covers promise to capture the adorable insanity of symbiotes in his signature style, offering fans a fun alternative to the more intense main covers, which we saw earlier. So this collaboration showcases Marvel's ability to blend a serious storytelling with a playful artistry, appealing to a wide range of enthusiasts. The first 2 issues drop August 7th and September 4th. And yeah, so this is going to be awesome.
Nice.
Diary of an Idiot.
Be awesome. Are you sure it's going to be awesome?
I don't know. I'm kind of symbioted out.
Okay, the covers are going to be awesome. The storyline, I can't.
I may
Now
leave
you ain't
out.
Now
All
you
right.
really
All
don't.
right.
I want
Leo,
to.
Leo, you did good. You can get off Variant Watch now.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to see
And,
a story come out that's like a cross between Variant Watch and Bone Parish, where they just take like a symbiote dust and sell it around to all of the very few people in the entire Earth that have not been able to be inhabited by a symbiote yet, so they can like sniff it and then they can be symbiotes as well. It'd be like venom dust or something.
Venom.
Because
That
I mean,
sound-
it's
that
like
sounds like a
easier now
really-
to point out like
That sounds like a really strong version of crystal meth. Venom dust.
yeah. Well, in Bone Parish, they snort ashes made by a voodoo person so that they can live the lives of dead people. But that's what, you know, I mean, there are fewer people alive now who have not been inhabited by a symbiote than have, I think.
Yeah,
Haven't
it's
we reached that point now?
pretty common now. And if not, that's what the multiverse is there for, Carrie. So
Why did you miss work on Tuesday? Sorry, got possessed by Venom. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
So because you know what this means now that Variant Watch is over, we have to do the other thing.
what other thing, Drew?
The news.
Drew's News! Drew's News! Exciting tales, fresh comic views. In the pages, heroes fly, villains fly under the sky. From Gotham's dark to Metropolis views, we cover stories old and new. Drew's News, your daily source for comic clues. Join the fun, it's a heroic cruise in the world of Drew's comic news.
I wish you all a week in hell.
Just one.
All right. Who's first?
We're back.
We are. Let me pull it up here.
I'm gonna have to put on glasses.
That's Carrie.
Yeah.
All right. So, after the success of last year's The Headless Horseman Halloween Annual, Dark Horse has announced that it will be releasing another one this year. 2024's annual will be featuring writers David Malchian of Count Crawley fame, Laia Kilpatrick, Ben Stenbeck, and James Asmus, along with writer and illustrator Lucas Kettner. Artists Matt Smith and Chris Panda are joined by Frank Kvetkovic on lettering as well, joined by Frank Kvetkovic on lettering, as well as cover artist Francesco Francavilla. The 2 covers shown, if you go back to the first one, is by Kettner, and the second one is Francavilla. And the Headless Horseman Halloween Annual 2024 will be hitting stores October 23rd. So get ready to get out there and get yourself an anthology.
Beautiful.
When you first said Headless Horseman, it made me think of a horse man, headless horse.
Centaur?
No. Yeah, a little bit of a centaur kind of thing going on. Just
No.
like,
I have to say, seeing Halloween stuff now, I think the seasons are all fucked up. Did you see? Did you?
Grandpa, go back for your nap.
No, I'm just saying. They released 2 trailers today. Nosferatu, which is being released on Christmas,
really?
and Red One is a new Christmas movie with The Rock and Captain America.
Okay.
Santa gets kidnapped, and The Rock and Captain America need to save him.
By the way, his name is Chris Evans.
He's Captain America.
It would be
Claus.
better if it was just The Rock and Captain America, like as actually The Rock and Captain America had to go save Santa.
Dwayne
You mean
I'm The Rock. What do you do?
I want to see The Rock from
I'm The
Everything
Rock.
Everywhere All at Once, like that Rock. I'd prefer that in that movie.
What one?
You ever see Everything Everywhere All at Once, where there's literally
yeah.
just two rocks talking to each other? I prefer that to this red ones.
I
agree.
want to rock. I want to rocks.
Rock.
He ruined part of my DC universe, so he can go.
Yeah, Jar. I've been telling you this for years. You gotta let it go, man.
I will one day.
So, are you saying someday, somehow, you're gonna let go of it, but not right now?
Never gonna give you up.
You know what? You're Rick Astley trumps Nickelback, so you win this time, buddy.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
love
I feel like he just hit you with a draw 4.
I know. I just feel like someone throw a reverse Uno card right now.
How do you top that?
You know, it's okay, Justin. This is how you remind me of what I really am.
Hey, look at
who's
this
next,
photograph.
please?
Look at this photograph.
Oh, Jar, this is you.
Is me. Hold on, I got to put my glasses back.
This is
on.
a sad photograph, Jar.
Yeah. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
There's
All
nothing.
right,
there's nothing that's funny about what you're about to say, but
no, there's really not. But let's try to make it funny. How about that? This July, Dark Horse Comics and Yo Books are releasing a compelling new book highlighting cartoonists who fought against racism, titled Cartoonists Against Racism: The Secret Jewish War on Bigotry. The book uncovers the extraordinary yet little-known story of a Jewish organization that mobilized America's most beloved comic book artists and cartoonists to combat bigotry during the 1940s and 50s. The book reveals a covert effort to saturate America's newspapers, schools, and union halls with anti-racist comics and cartoons. Readers will discover the artists and their powerful artwork, which served as their weapon in the fight for America's moral integrity. Written by Holocaust scholar Dr. Raphael Medoff and acclaimed comics historian Craig Yo, the book includes a foreword by Professor Susanna Heschel and of Dartmouth and daughters of civil rights leader Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. Cartoonists Against Racism features impactful anti-racism artwork by prominent cartoonists of the era, including Pulitzer Prize winners Bill Malden, Von Shoemaker, New Yorker cartoonist Carl Rose, Misha Reiter, and Frank Hanley, anti-war cartoonist Robert Osborne, Dave Berg of Mad Magazine, sports cartoonist Willard Mullen, labor cartoonist Bernard Seaman, comics artist Mac Raboy, known for the Flash Gordon and Captain Marvel Jr., and Eric Godel, a prominent cartoonist who fled Nazi Germany. The book will be available in bookstores on July 2nd, 2024, and comic shops on July 3rd, 2024. It is currently available for pre-order from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Tfaw, and other retailers, priced at $19.99. So get it while you can.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I like I said, that was definitely something when I was researching the news. I was like, we got to include this. This is a big thing, you know.
Well, the book itself seems like that's some history that like we should all know. Like what did they do? Like, you know.
Right, exactly. It's the story.
Those comics are too fucking woke, I tell you.
Shut up, Jeremy. No, but I agree with you, Leo. I feel like sometimes it's the stories you don't know that we're going behind the scenes that I feel, because again, you think, oh, it's the past. It's been done. You've seen one Back to the Future. You don't need to go back to 1955. But, you know, there was a lot going on. You just kind of got lost in the time, you know. But there was more than just one war.
This would be a great book to try to get the creators on for, so we could do an episode on it, I think.
Maybe. I would be down for that.
That would be a very fun
You
and
know,
educational
we can be serious, right, Jar?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can, right, Leo? We can be serious.
Don't call me Shirley.
Ooh.
You know what? This is
Ooh,
why.
nice.
This is why when we offer, you never get lasagna. All right. What's next, Leo?
Okay.
Mm,
Next
oh,
up.
It's us. Oh, yeah,
Jupiter's
it's me.
Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy. So 12 years after it launched, the first Jupiter Legacy, it is drawing to a close with a 5-issue series from Dark Horse. As you know, that's a new home for our Mark Miller's Miller World stuff. The title Jupiter Legacy Finale will see this world's heroes trapped on an alien world just as their Earth faces the threat of invasion. This will be written by Mark Miller, of course, with his 1985 collaborator, Tommy Lee Edwards, who is taking the art duties, the same that he did in 2021's Jupiter Legacy Requiem. Edwards will also do the main cover, along with Jupiter Legacy's co-creator, Frank Whiteley, Julian Totino Tedesco, and Scotty Young. So I'm pretty sure that's a Tedesco cover right there, because I'd recognize that line work anywhere. That's Frank Whiteley. It's all in the faces. And then, of course, Scotty Young.
Obviously.
Mhm.
So the synopsis is the lineage of American superheroes is on the brink. They've grappled with internal scandals, personal demons, and the constant threat of raising children in a world teetering on the edge of destruction. The struggle to understand the origins of their powers and the looming threat of heroes and villains to humanity has been a constant battle. Now, the heroes find themselves trapped and murdered on an alien world while the enemies of Earth, who have long envied our planet, seize the opportunity to launch their invasion. So Jupiter's Legacy Finale Issue 1 will be released through Dark Horse Comics on October 16th.
Nice.
Yeah, I just find it amazing that all of us in some way or another have read a Mark Miller story and have just been like, there's a reason he's one of the greats, you know?
Mhm.
And I just was just realizing, I was like, wow, it's been like almost 30 years that he's been working in comics, and he's still pumping out like quality stuff. You
And
know?
big
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Quality
amazing.
stuff and big game. So
No, I know. I started reading it and there was just too many characters I didn't know. So I was like, I'm going to do the research and I'm going to come back. And every time I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready.
let me save you. Just read issue 5 and skip over all the others. You'll be fine.
Fair enough. But
You
yeah, so
have to
if
have
you're
no feelings to read that book.
fair enough. If you're a fan of Mark Miller, everybody, please see how that story ends. And also read more of his other titles. So that's me. Next.
Yeah.
Next up is
And speaking of Millar, just wanted to shout out Huck. Huck was so good.
Huck was good.
There's so many that were so good. This is Carrie.
All right, so we've got some cosmic horror headed our way from Mad Cave Studios in their latest sci-fi 5-issue series, Dark Empty Void. This story features a man-made microscopic black hole, which starts to confound the scientists keeping it under wraps by ejecting various creatures, energies, and even a human teenager. They eventually need to bring in a psychologist to help them in preventing the black hole's destruction of the world. Bring this story to life are writer Zach Kaplan, artist Chris Sheehan, color Francesco Svala, and letterer Justin Birch. With the main cover done by Sheehan, issue 1 will also feature a variant cover by Christian Ward. And this comic will be hitting your LCS on September 11th. And this, I love this concept. It's really neat. It reminds me of the exact opposite of a book by Jonathan Lethem that's called As She Climbed Across the Table, where they make a wormhole and they become obsessed with that and start developing a relationship with it. So it's like here they have something that's ejecting things, and in the wormhole it eats only certain things. And so it's like I loved that book, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Mad Cave has been doing some great stuff. So
They have. And also on top of it, Carrie, I think it's also a terrifying idea because you have these people who lose control over something that really was in the end uncontrollable, and then how that action will just affect everybody on the planet. That
Yeah.
like again, it's one of those that you're like, why wasn't this a movie? Like, it's really cool.
Probably going to be.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Mad Cave has been really stepping it up. So, there's just a lot of good, solid work out by a ton of publishers, more than just the big two. So it's a good time to love comics, kids.
Yep,
It
yep.
is.
Yes.
And hi, Tom Dog.
What's up, T-Dog?
Hey.
Hey.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
What's next?
Hey. It's
And,
Albert.
Sit down.
I'm gonna sing a song for you.
Sit down.
Carrie, thanks again for covering this. That was awesome, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
No. Gonna have a good time.
Okay there, Judger?
Hey, I think George Sugar just kicked in.
Oh, I loved Fat Albert. That was one of the greatest. Fab. Love that shit.
Dear God. Well, we struck a chord.
Oh, it's my turn again.
Yes,
All
it
right,
is.
so this is interesting, but
sorry to interrupt. I feel
really
like this is also a story our guest would very much enjoy as well.
Yeah. Are you a Power Rangers? Yes.
No, Usagi Jimbo is his.
Well, no, I knew that. I was wondering if he was down with the Go Power Rangers. I watched the first season and Mystic Force with my kid, and that was about it. Just not my taste. But to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo, Boom Studios, Dark Horse Comics, and Hasbro present an exciting crossover event, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Usagi Yojimbo One Shot, written by seasoned Power Rangers writer Ryan Parrott, with artwork by Sean Daly of Ogre, and colors by James Fenner of Jim Henson's The Storyteller and Shapeshifters. The special issue will be released in September of 2024. The story kicks off with the Power Rangers battling Rita Repulsa when their morphers unexpectedly transport them to Japan's Edo period. There's a mysterious figure named, and Justin will probably get this one. I'm like way off. Ogasawara.
Ogasawara. Yeah, he was right.
Oh, I had it. Okay, seeks their help. I was just like, I know I'm going to ruin that name. However, the enemy they encounter is unlike anything they anticipated, and the Rangers must confront a harsh truth to save the day and return home. It's an oversized issue, which will feature a main cover by Torrin Clark, and variant covers by Stan Sakai, with colors by Emi Fuji, Jared Cullum, Usagi Yojimbo Ice, and Snow Goni Montez, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, The Return, and Takashi Mayawaza, Mech Cadets. Artist Sean Daly expressed his excitement about the project, saying, "Some characters feel destined to cross paths, and I hadn't realized how much I needed this team up until I was asked to help bring it to life. Stan Sakai's legendary work was a formative introduction to comics for me, and as a lifelong fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the combination hits hard. That is in no small part to Ryan's incredibly fun script, which has been a privilege to draw. I also got to use my original Power Rangers figures for reference material, an artist's dream come true. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Usagi Yojimbo will be available in comic shops September 25th, 2024, and pre-order it now at your LCS."
Damn. I just feel like Power Rangers are teaming up with like everybody now.
Well, they just fought Godzilla, right?
Yeah, again. That was the second time.
Have they had a TMNT?
Yep, twice.
2 times.
And I'm sure they've done Ghostbusters, right?
Nope.
I don't think so yet.
No, they have not.
I mean, it's whoever Boom has the license to. So, I mean, I don't know who's next for them, but I mean, I would think Voltron or something like that. That Jared Cullum right there, that is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love his stuff.
I was going to ask you, Justin, which one is your favorite of the covers?
I mean, it's hard not to go with the original Stan Sakai because they're all gorgeous. Like, I mean, I've got Usagi on my wall, so you know. But
Mhm.
yeah, these are all gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be meeting the man right, I think, the week before this comes out. So because he'll be
Oh,
at
nice.
Granite State Comic Con.
There you go.
Very
Nice.
cool.
All right. What's next?
It's time for us again.
time for
It
Drew.
is.
Oh, right, me. So, fun fact: Boom Studios, continuing their awesome release of more Firefly-related projects, announced that the fan favorite Captain Malcolm Reynolds, played, of course, by Nathan Fillion, is finally getting an origin story. They've announced Firefly Malcolm Reynolds Year One, a prequel series telling of Mal Reynolds' earliest adventures. Sam Humphries, the writer who did Firefly the Fall Guys miniseries, is writing it. Artist Giovanni Fabiano makes his comic debut in the series, the same series colored by Gloria Martinelli, who also worked with Humphries on the Fall Guys. The synopsis is, despite starting from an unlikely place, Malcolm Reynolds has always been a troublemaker. Becoming a brown coat was always meant to be, but what unexpected obstacles lie on the path to him becoming the captain that fans know and love? To him, assembling and leading the crew of the spaceship Serenity. So questions will be answered as this thing progresses. It's setting in the early days of the Unification War, which, as we know, was the conflict where the Browncoats fought a now legendarily losing battle against the consolidated rule of the Alliance. That was touched on somewhat by Boom's first Firefly series. So this goes on sale September 4th. And from what I'm seeing, it's a must-own for all you Browncoats and Firefly fans out there. So,
And who isn't?
indeed. So, keep it shiny, guys.
Jar Jar?
I'm sorry. I tried a few times, and
To watch the show?
I watched the show. I watched the movie. I don't know.
Did you watch the show in the actual order it's supposed to be in?
That is a fair point.
Is it Star Wars? Am I supposed to watch?
No.
No, Jar. Leo, can I take this one?
No.
Okay.
See, the network wanted to kill Firefly, so when it originally aired, they aired the show out of order. And being a serialized show, it kind of screwed up the storyline. And that was one of the things that led to its cancellation.
I didn't watch.
Drew?
Oh, no, you said everything perfectly, boss.
I've never been exposed to any of it, so
it's
one of those eventually.
Western.
Listen, space Western.
Yeah, Carrie, it does take you a minute to get into it. It does start a little slow, but it does pick up. But the gem is the cast.
Yeah.
You know, that's what really seals you in. The cast is just one of the million casting. You
Alan
know?
Tudyk? Oh, my God.
And it's the same thing like with a lot of Joss Whedon projects, you know. The ensemble is what makes it. I mean, Buffy wouldn't have been Buffy without Sarah Michelle Gellar and everybody who was part of the Scooby Gang. You know, the same thing with all the cast of what became.
We were talking about the movie Buffy. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Oh no, not that.
No. But Carrie, the same thing happened with the cast of what would be Angel, you know, and eventually that. But Carrie, I will say this, and I'm not the biggest Angel fan, but the one where he gets magically turned into a Muppet is pretty fucking funny.
Okay.
So, but that is, of course, as we know in this group, anything that's a Muppet is going to be A+ for us because we're all essentially Muppet people.
I like the
I didn't hate it.
I like the sequel where Angel goes zombie hunting.
There you go.
No.
See?
No, the character that played Angel was the reference used for a video game.
Yes.
A zombie game.
Indeed.
Well played joke.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was very bad. Sorry. I heard you were speaking in, and my wife just brought me another.
Very
so.
niche. So
Yeah. Yeah. Even she's like, okay, you need
There
a
goes the
refill.
5th listeners.
this
Yeah.
is my favorite one that I got to do for making the news this week.
Gorgeous.
All right. What's the next one?
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh crap! Hold on, hit the wrong button.
I wonder if
I did see this too, Carrie, so I'm glad you picked it.
Oh yeah, this is not
Leo,
fair.
this is one. This is, I think, one of yours.
This is mine. Yeah, I'm just. How many pictures are there, Carrie?
There are 4 because I did the last cover twice
All right.
because of the way it's oriented.
Okay, so Boom Studios and the Jim Henson Company have announced an exciting new project for fans of the 1986 classic fantasy movie Labyrinth. So, for the first time, A.C.H. Smith's beloved novelization of the film will be adapted into the graphic novel set for release on September of 2024. The creative team behind this adaptation brings impressive credentials to the project. Writer Kyla Vandergloek, and I know I messed that up, known for her work on Demon in the Wood, will be penning the script. Artist Giorgio Spalletta, recognized for Alice Never After, will bring the magical world of Labyrinth to life with his illustrations. Both creators have expressed their enthusiasm for the project. Vanderkloek spoke about the privilege of adapting such a unique and beloved fantasy, while Spalletta shared his excitement about exploring the universe that has deeply influenced his imagination since childhood, as it has with all of us. So the graphic novel will feature multiple cover options for collectors and fans. Miguel Mercado will provide the main cover with variant covers by acclaimed artist David Mack. Veronica Fish. This adaptation offers a fresh way for longtime fans to revisit the world of Labyrinth, and this comes out September of 2024.
There's
Wow.
one more variation on that.
Wow.
That reminds me of the Babe.
What babe?
What babe?
The Babe with the power.
What power?
What power?
Voodoo.
Voodoo?
Voodoo.
You do
what?
You
Remind
what?
me of the
Remind me
Babe.
of the babe.
I saw my babe crying as hard as babe could cry.
Oh my God! I have to tell you guys a funny Labyrinth story. So I saw that in the theaters with a girl that I was seeing at the time and her friends. And I remember, I think I forgot who was there. Was like a scene where one of the characters is in like a mechanized robot suit.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And I remember watching over this. I was like, oh my God, wait a second. I just realized something. And I think it might have been Hoggle was in the suit or something. And I was like, does this mean he's a Jaeger pilot? And she looked at me and laughed. She was just like, wow. I was like, you didn't say no. So canon.
Means she got the reference.
I was very impressed.
Have any of you guys seen the thing? It was put out like 10 years ago on BuzzFeed. They had a couple of their really young interns who had never seen The Labyrinth, like watch it and take notes as they were doing it. And they're like, I have no idea what's going on here. David Bowie's hot. And then it gets to that, you remind me of the Babe thing. And there's just like, it's like comment 87 or something is, he just yeeted the fuck out of that baby. Because
Dear God.
Kind of magic.
I feel the only thing I will say about The Labyrinth is I feel bad that later in life it got the respect and attention it deserved. Because I know it wasn't the biggest hit that they were hoping for at the time. And I know that kind of broke Jim Henson a bit.
I was like 10 or 12 when that came out, and like I loved it. Loved it.
I will say,
I could talk about Labyrinth for literal hours. You know, Labyrinth was the follow-up to the Dark Crystal, which is my ultimate favorite. But the big difference between the two of them, there's no humans that appear in the Dark Crystal. In Labyrinth, that changed. That was the secret sauce that he said, we can't do that again. We've got to have humans.
Right. I think also rewatching it, one, you realize that nobody could have been the Goblin King with David Bowie. And two, you see it and you're like, Jennifer Connelly, you were so young. And you see her now and she's
so
still
whiny. She
gorgeous.
perfect. She played
perfect. But I will say this, Justin. One of the characters always kind of scared me as a kid. I think it was the creatures who pile stuff on their back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that
dearie, you
terrified.
need this. You didn't want to get rid of your teddy bear. You need to have your teddy. Here, let's put him here on your back so you never lose him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
look at
don't
this.
know.
It's Mr. Fluffy.
I don't know why, but that shit terrified me a little as a kid. I was like, I don't need stuff anymore. I don't want to carry it on my back.
Yeah, and you know who wrote it, right?
Hmm.
Terry Jones from Monty Python.
That, you know what? That kind of makes sense. That also made me terrified of ever drawing stuff in chalk because I was afraid somebody would just flip the arrow.
Hello. No, I said hello.
Or what was it? And then on top of it, it's just the thing that was always so great is that everything was there. Like, this is before CGI and everything. So none of those Muppets are actually there. And I feel like it just makes it so much better because you can see the people actually moving and whatnot. And then, of course, when you learn how many puppeteers were just needed for one character just to do facial expressions, reactions, and stuff, it really was a labor of love.
Are you saying Muppets are real?
Yes.
Damn straight they are.
What?
I liked the helping hands when she's
I
falling
have
into
that
the
shirt.
start talking to her.
I bought that Roosevelt shirt with the "She said down."
Oh, it was so good. And then even at the end, when you have that sweet ending when they kind of won, and she's missing her friends, I was like, "Oh, we'll come," and they're just partying in her room. Like, I was just
you need us?
I was just
Yes, should you
imagining.
need us?
Yeah, I just imagined the parents come in and was like, "Sarah, why are all these goblins in your room? It's a school night, young lady."
Smell bad.
I made a
I
scumbag
love
Sarah
it.
picture because, like, Jared went through everything for her, and then she was just like, "No, actually, can you send me back? I would rather not be your queen." And you did everything I wanted, but
Carrie, if you
No
do
way.
that, Carrie, if you do a scumbag, I will 100% share
I
it on
did
my
that.
page.
I made it years ago. I can pull it up and I'll send it to you.
Please, I will 100% share that because that is fucking funny. And
Yeah.
I've been finding some quality memes.
And I have the hat,
to share.
everything. Yeah.
Like, I'm so proud that so many of you loved the 3 seashell one.
That was a good one.
You know, the thing is, again, these are all things that just pop up on my feed now.
He doesn't know how to
And I'm
use
just
the
like,
seashells.
and I'm just like, I have to, right?
Was
Right?
that before or after Taco Bell won the fast food wars?
I want to say that was probably after, which is why the 3 seashells were a thing.
Bong.
I was just sad
Why
because
it's not 2 seashells.
I was just sad because my beloved Pizza Hut clearly didn't make it. I was like, it's okay. But I know Papa John's was the first to fall.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Well, Carrie, I will say this. Those covers look absolutely stunning. And the second I saw that David Mack was going to do one or two, I was like, oh, he does such good work.
I mean, I nearly stole that from Leo, but I was like, nah, I picked mine early. I'm sticking with what I got because I like my stories, but damn, those are gorgeous.
Right. All right.
Gonna have
What
to
else
order
is
them.
what else is
That
new?
was it. That
was
was
it?
the end of the news, man. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was it.
Well,
Good
before
thing
we
you
do
saved
anything
that one
else,
for last.
well, I will say a thing before we do anything else, just to cover some news that didn't get covered briefly. Marvel announced that after Blood Hunt, there's going to be a new Blade series. That the Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr.'s Amazing Spider-Man run will be concluding at the end of this year. And apparently, despite so many people trying, Deadpool is actually going to die, which is kind of redundant in my opinion, but we're going to just ignore that.
Did any more of those Blood Hunt covers like blow up?
No.
Justin, did you hear about that?
I heard about that.
No.
The number
All I know
two,
is
right?
Tom Waltz is writing the Wolverine Blood Hunt crossover.
Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. It's not like, oh my god, amazing, but it's pretty good.
The Thor cover kind of went
Yeah.
crazy. It's going for what, like 250 right now?
Is it still at that price? I thought it had started to drop.
It might
Probably it started to drop as it gets closer. I don't know. Me and Carrie have been comparing notes about Blood Hunt, and we both still feel it's still a pretty mediocre event. It's not horrible. We've read worse.
Hey, you know what they should do? Have another symbiote war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's almost as if that's what's following Blood Hunt.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, how about if they did a symbiote war along with a clone saga? Mix them together.
Yeah, and tie in Star Wars. Why not?
Hold on a second. Leo, you got to stop trying to make Clone Saga work, okay? It's not the new fetch. Okay?
Wait, what if it's Mickey Mouse, but it's a clone saga?
Oh boy.
Oh, wait. Speaking of, before we get to it, I've read the Scrooge McDuck Infinity Dime
Oh yeah, how is
story. Oh, it's so good. Jar, you got to read it, bud. I really want to hear your notes on it.
Thanks for reminding me.
It was so good. Like, I cannot wait to get a copy, and I will 100% get it signed by Jason Aaron and tell him how good it was. It was awesome.
While you discuss that for a second, I'm going to run off to the restroom before we start this reading because I do not want to interrupt the reading at all. So yeah.
That's fine. That's good.
Sounds like a great time for a word from our sponsor.
Actually, we will do that.
Here's a word from Deadly Grounds.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
And then it was just me and Drew.
Yep. It's just.
I didn't know that was a sign for everybody to go.
Apparently.
What was that?
Once you go deadly,
you disappeared.
I did. I took the opportunity to stretch my legs for a second.
That's not a bad idea.
You don't have any legs. You float.
I ruined the thought that I was sitting here without pants on.
You did.
Oh.
Now the illusion is broken. So sit the fuck down, string bean.
Oh.
You look like a lima bean had a boy.
A lima bean had a boy?
Yes.
What?
You look like a human red pepper.
If I knew you were talking about, I might take offense.
It's fine.
I'm so confused.
Drew, I did get caught up on The Boys.
I've only just started this season.
Leo, we'll talk later.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
What? How many episodes are out already?
It's only 4.
All right.
But
I've only got one in.
Listen, I will just say this, just about The Boys. That next season is going to be amazing. But it is going to most likely be the darkest thing you'll probably ever watch. If what they're building up to is a hint, and you have to remember, I've read the book, so I know what's coming. But if they pull it, oh, wow, we are going in. It's just going to be war. All right, so with much ado, everybody, welcome to another installment of Splash Pages Live Read. Today, we are going to be reading Mike Mignola and the late, great Richard Corbin's collaboration on Hellboy The Crooked Man, which was released, I want to say, in 2006.
Sounds about right.
And is generally considered one of the best Hellboy stories that was ever published, and did end up winning a I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it did end up winning an Eisner.
I'd be very surprised if it hadn't.
It certainly didn't win an Iger.
Ha ha ha. Correct. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It was published July 2008 to September 2008. And yeah, it definitely, I know it won an award. It was award winning. Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
And just a heads up, folks, we will not be posting up comments during this time while we are reading. Feel free to comment if you would like, but we will not be picking them up. And there will be some sound effects that are going to be edited in afterwards. So if we have a seemingly lackluster kaboom and crackoom and things like that, it's because we are taking up some time for Leo to be able to cover it so that when we release the edited version, it's going to be awesome as hell.
And I should also say, if for some reason you have criticism with how we're about to do this, don't worry. There will be an upcoming American superhero horror adaptation of this that is going to be directed by Brian Taylor from a screenplay he wrote with Mignola and his collaborator, Christopher Golden, that I believe started filming last year and already wrapped up and supposed to be released sometime this year. So check that out.
Yeah, and Carrie, like you were saying, definitely check out our previous ones, Batman, Elmer Fudd, for instance. So we'll take this live reading and then turn it into like a motion comic with like special effects and sound effects and everything.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah, and Drew, you're doing the sound effects tonight?
Yes, I'm going to be testing my Foley artist. So, it's going to be interesting. I feel like I should spread out because I feel like I'm going to just break something in my apartment.
I feel the same way. I'm like trying to get like in a comfortable spot so I can like read and still emote.
All right. So, yes, we're fairly certain you'll figure out who is who. But we really hope you enjoy because we're all, I don't know, we're going to have fun. Let's do this. So, without further ado, Hellboy The Crooked Man.
The Appalachian Mountains, Virginia, 1958. A montage of forest and mountains close in on a road that leads to a rundown farm. Outside, an old dog lies in the dirt and a chicken looks in a broken window of the house from which voices are coming. She hadn't moved a muscle since I found her, and that's been 3 hours now. Lord only knows how long she was like that before I got here.
She's breathing okay.
Inside of the rundown house, a sick woman lies on the floor, a dark spot on her chest. Hellboy is looking her over while an old woman, 2 old men, and a little boy, all dressed in rags, fill him in on the situation. Yep.
You didn't think maybe you should get her to a doctor?
No medicine doctor's gonna do her a speck of good, son. She's witched.
How do you know?
This child didn't have no sense. I seen her fighting with Cora Fisher day before yesterday, and everybody knows that Cora is a witch.
That be the same Cora Fisher lived up on Turkey Creek?
Tom is standing in the open front doorway, taking in the scene.
I knew her years back. She weren't a witch then.
Lord have mercy.
Can't be.
Tom Farrell? Tom enters the house.
Yeah. I ain't dead yet.
You know something about this?
I was just passing by. Heard voices, thought I'd duck in and say hello, and found this on the doorstep.
Tom opens his hand to show a mass of black spikes that he hands over to Hellboy, who gives it a sniff.
Witch ball. Oh, I've heard of these.
Yeah. That's what caused that bruise there.
Where can I find this Cora Fisher?
She's where she's always been.
I'll show you. Been a long time, but I guess I still know the way.
Hellboy and Tom leave the house, the family standing on the dilapidated front porch, seeing them off.
You burn that witch ball. And you take that girl's clothes off and boil them, calling out Cora Fisher's name. If she done this then, that'll bust the spell.
Thanks, Tom.
You be careful up there. First, I should stop and see my ma. She's dead, Tom.
Long time ago. Her brother come up and fetch her. Took her back east someplace where her people are from.
Oh. What about my pa?
Ah, hell, Tom. We ain't never did see much of him, and not much since you left.
Guess he finally drunk himself to death back in the woods. He weren't much good. I guess that's true.
Hellboy and Tom leave the farm behind and begin walking along the dirt road that leads through the wild forest, heading to Cora Fisher's place.
So, I guess you're from around here.
Yeah. Been gone 20 years. Figure it was time to come back and see to some things. What brings you this way?
Nothing really. I finished up some stuff down south and thought I'd just wander around for a while.
You looking for trouble?
Not really.
I heard of you, you know. Recognized you right off.
Oh, yeah?
Saw a picture of you in Life magazine some years back. You were a cute little fella, like a little monkey. Guess you're all growing up now, though. Heard you've scrapped with some vampires and such?
A couple times.
All right.
The path they have been walking on narrows. It crosses a small creek with a tiny waterfall. Flowers grow alongside the path now. In a large dead tree, an owl stares down at them, a small animal skull hanging from a branch beside it.
Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
It's okay. Back in 44, some guys found me in an old church in England.
Don't that beat all? I've been some places, but I ain't never been there. Ain't in a church, you say? That's fine. Everybody knows the devil can't set foot in a church.
You know I'm not.
The devil? I seen him, and he don't look nothing like you. Here's Cora's place.
Cora's house is run down and overgrown with foliage. A tiny stream runs in front of it. On the front porch sits an old rocking chair. There's a light on in the window, and smoke trickles out of the chimney.
Cora! It's Tom Farrell. Come on here, Cora. I want to talk to you.
When no one replies, the two enter her house. The steps are warped. A fire burns in a large hearth with a chair before it and a stool off to the side on the stone floor. Herbs hang from the ceilings. Bottles are lined up on shelves and on the mantel.
Yes, she maybe ain't home. Can't hurt to look around.
You knew her?
When we were kids, she always seemed okay to me. I don't want... Oh.
Tom lifts up a stone in front of the fire and discovers a cloth wrapped around a half-dozen witch balls.
More witch balls.
Yeah. And look at this.
As Tom digs deeper in the hole beneath the stone, he discovers a Bible with a large red X across it and Cora Fisher signed below in blood as well.
Ah, girl. What did you do?
Hellboy is looking into the next room in the small house, while Tom pulls out one last thing from the hole. It's a filthy corked bottle with an insect trapped inside that is hissing. He pulls it closer to get a look at it.
Something else. You don't scare me. I know. He knows. He knows you're coming. He's waiting.
Tom?
Tom joins Hellboy in the other room. There's a bed with a flowered quilt on it. A candle burns on the nightstand. A woman's skin is lying atop the bed, the window open behind it to the night. Hellboy lifts up a part of the skin.
What do you make of this?
Her skin. We'll wait till she comes back for it.
Hellboy notices the bottle.
What have you got there?
Her demon familiar.
I hate those. Sounds pretty mad.
She got it corked in there pretty good. Maybe she was starving it.
Tom sets the bottle on the table, and the two sit down to wait for Cora. Tom's back is against the wall by the hearth, and the fire gives an ambient glow and shadows their profiles.
You said you saw the devil.
20 years ago, about a mile from this spot.
Flashback to young Tom, holding down a branch to look upon something.
I wasn't more than 15 then with no more sense than a sack full of nails. Her name was Effie Kolb.
A naked Effie looks at young Tom, a branch barely covering her nudity.
I knew right off she was nothing but trouble, but well, I was 15. She sure taught me some things.
Young Tom and Effie hunch naked in the woods. Effie is showing Tom how to perform rituals. A circle with various symbols, bones, and stones is between them. She is drawing a triangle inside of it. A pile of bones from the skeleton of a small animal rests beside her.
Effie was a witch, and she got me all turned around, got me to thinking maybe I should be a witch too. All that talk about having power over the other folk, I don't know, she made sound pretty good. So one day, I found me a squash black cat.
Young Tom holds the carcass of a black cat as far away from him as his arm can reach. Next, Tom is stirring a pot, faced away from it, looking ashamed.
And while my ma was out, I boiled it till it all went to pieces. Then I took that mess down to the creek to wash out the bones.
Young Tom crouches in front of the creek, the pot still steaming next to him as he dips the bones of the cat into the water to clean them off.
In the name of Beelzebub, succubus, and archangel to hell, I pledge to be loyal to the devil the rest of my born days, to never pray to God again, and never to... If it told me whatever bone I was holding when the devil showed up, that'd be my lucky bone.
Back to the present, Tom shows Hellboy the bone he wears tied in cord around his neck.
Now, I was expecting that old devil to look something like you. No offense.
None taken.
But he didn't look nothing like you. In fact, I knew him right off. Not that I'd ever seen him, but I heard tales of him all my life.
Flashback again to young Tom sitting at the creek, a bone in his hand. On the other side, approaching through scruffy trees, is a silhouette of a man with a cane, leaning hard upon it. His head, bearing a tall hat, is tipped distinctly to the side. Close up, the man's face is a grotesque gray, his mouth in an unnaturally wide smile, drooling. One eye is blind, milky, and staring up at the sky. The other is yellow and burning in a stare.
Mr. Whitkins. That's what some of the old folks called him. Most just called him the Crooked Man. They say he got a big house back up there in the hurricane, that he was one of the first white men to come up into these mountains hundreds of years ago, that he was behind half the trouble between the whites and the Indians, and that he was for the British Revolution and played both sides in the war between the states.
In flashes on an orange background, there's a silhouette of the mansion, an image of the Crooked Man handing a Native American a bottle of wine and a gun, a silhouette of people watching a man hang from an incredible height, and finally, a silhouette of the Crooked Man, eyes and mouth showing from the blackness, with his hands on a burst-open bag of gold coins.
Folks always said he was only good for two things, causing trouble and making money from it. And that's what got him hanged in the end. But that cheap devil in hell sent him back to hoard souls now instead of gold. Let me tell you, one look at him scared all the bad thoughts right out of me. I lit for home swearing all the way to be good again. But for some reason, I never let go of that lick of bone.
Flashback to young Tom running scared through the woods. He approaches his house. On the front step, there's a toad.
And what do you think I found waiting on my front step? Some say it was just a toad, but I knew it. He'd sent it. It was my demon. Rrr.
Young Tom weeps. A train passes through the mountains in the distance.
He'd sent it to me to help me do evil. So I just kept running. Didn't say goodbye to my mom and pa, just hightailed out of these mountains and hopped the first train that I saw.
A few military landing craft are dropping troops onto a bleak shore with smoke billowing in the distance. A battle rages, a tank in a jungle setting, surrounded by troops in the process of either shooting or being shot. One man lies dead. Another man's head is exploding.
I didn't care where I was going. Eventually ended up in the Army, and they sent me to the Pacific. Got through that without a scrape.
Back at the table at Cora's house before the fire, Tom is holding up the bone again.
Because of this damn thing. It's got power in it, but I never used it. Never wished harm on anybody, not even those Japanese fellas. Think maybe that means I ain't really a witch?
I don't know.
After the war, I just bummed around. Hell, I guess I ain't been anything but a bum.
Shh. You hear something?
Hellboy and Tom walk into the bedroom. Something is entering through the window, hidden by the curtain. A raccoon makes its way through the window onto the bed and climbs inside of Cora's discarded skin through her mouth as Hellboy and Tom peek through the door. Cora's body contorts, cracking and popping as she regains her shape. Hellboy and Tom enter into the room and confront her.
Cora! What are you doing?
Ah! Cora pulls a blanket up to cover herself as she speaks to the two. Tom Farrell? What do you want?
What happened to you, girl? You were always good. You were fixing to marry Nate Softbeat.
I did, but he died. Our babies died. It was just too much for me, Tom. I took up with some of them women from back up the mountains. How did it come to this? Skin changing and worse. Tom, it's just too... You hush now, Cora Fisher. Cora, Tom, and Hellboy look towards the door. The voices come from outside. Cora has pulled a dress over herself as the three of them step out onto the porch. No use weeping and wailing. You know you're bought and paid for.
Damn!
Effie Kolb, looking as young as she did in the flashback, rides a corrupted horse. Hello, Tommy.
That's her, Effie Cobb. And she don't look a minute older than since the last time I saw her.
Please. Cora, you come along with me now. He might want to have some words with you.
Leave her alone, witch!
No. You really want to get messed up in this, Tommy? He knows you're back. He's waiting for you.
What about me?
You? Mister, he's not a tiny bit afraid of you. Effie grins maliciously at them, then bends over her horse, stroking its mane. She leaps high into the air as the horse begins to collapse. And Tommy, I near forgot. He sent me to give you a present. Afraid it don't look like much. I've been riding him pretty hard every night since you left.
Crap.
Guess he's pretty near wore out. Effie flies away, laughing as she goes.
Tom?
Oh, no.
You okay?
Come on. Come.
Tom struggles to get the bridle off of the horse. When he finally does, it turns back into his father and collapses to the ground. Cora looks on in horror as Tom cradles his father's head. Oh, Tom, that's your pa. I swear I didn't know nothing about this.
I guess he didn't drink himself to death after all. Tommy, is that you, boy? You come home. You come. He's dead. She done this 'cause of me. Cora, you know if Reverend Watts is still up there?
Charles Farrell is dead, his body even more emaciated than it was when he was a horse. That's back up in the hurricane, Tom. You can't be thinking going up there. He's up there waiting for you.
I guess that's true. Guess that's why I come back after all these years, to have it out with that devil. But not before I get this old man buried in church ground. You got maybe a clean sheet I can wrap him in?
I'll get something. Cora runs inside as Tom and Hellboy talk. The owl perched on her tree watches them.
How about you, friend? Want to come along?
I wouldn't miss it.
I'd be happy for the company. Cora, you're coming along too.
What?
I came by my trouble by being plain stupid. But that girl had bad luck and came into this witch business through it, and it ain't fair she should burn for it. So we'll make that bastard let her go.
Cora shuts herself back in the house and leans against the door, crying. The demon inside her insect bottle hisses. Tom and Hellboy look up the road towards the hurricane. A loud cracking sound resonates back at them.
It's too late for me. He's gonna have me. If I can do right by her and my pa, I guess I will have done something.
Cora has left her demon bottle behind, and its occupant is hissing. Through her open front door, the path is lit. An overhead view shows a long walk ahead with the trees thick on both sides.
You want me to carry him for a while?
No, I got him.
You sure?
Hellboy, Tom, and Cora walk close together through the grassy patch in the woods. Tom carries his father wrapped in a sheet from Cora's over his shoulder.
Yeah. I figure this here's my burden to carry. It's like that felon in that old story. The one that had all his sins tied up in a sack on his back and he had to carry him. It's my penance, I guess. For all the foolishness of my youth. I guess you got your own burden to carry?
I guess.
You don't feel it yet.
Guess not.
You will.
Yeah. One of these days. And that thing you're carrying, that's going to make these trouble of mine look like a tin full of canned pill of pennies.
Tom, I can't go no further. Cora has stopped towards the bottom of the hill they were climbing.
What's wrong?
It's the mines.
Old rusted machinery lays discarded beneath the trees. In open patches, rusting carts and broken boards are being taken over by the undergrowth.
The mines?
Coal mines. The mounds around here are snake full of tunnels.
And they're down there. I hear 'em.
They?
Look at this here fella here. You think he can't handle any trouble that cook up?
No, not the ones down there. The Malusian witches?
The who?
Malusian. Supposed to be descended from the settlers who disappeared at Roanoke Island, got mixed in with the Croatian Indians. There's all kind of crazy stories about them.
Deformed witches wearing clothing and jewelry mostly made of bones and teeth grimace menacingly in the night. No, I can't.
They're supposed to be a special kind of evil.
It's true.
They were never around here much. Not till that big cave-in of '02. My pa used to tell me about it. 100 men got trapped down there, and for a day and a night, the air was full of them Malusians, flying up here and down into that mine.
More deformed witches, these partially dressed in plain gray garments, some nude, fly through the sky over the forest.
Pa says that there was some screaming down there for a while, but nothing. He figured those witches went down there to eat those fellas.
I hate that kind of crap.
And he never tell of any of those witches coming back up out of there again.
Hellboy, Tom, and Cora are standing on the rusted tracks from one of the mines. From beneath the ground, horrible, filthy bodies crawl amongst rotting wooded boards and skeletons, their eyes shining in the dark.
Cora Fisher!
Ah, they know my name! Cora collapses in fright.
Cora, those witches haven't got any power over you and no power at all till after dark.
As Hellboy helps Cora to stand, the full moon rises over the thick trees.
What the hell?
Please.
I don't get it. It shouldn't be past noon.
Maybe I'm messed up coming this way. We're in the hurricane now. We're on the devil's time.
Please.
It's just this way's the shortest way to that church, and
We'll be all right.
Back underground, the witches are focusing on Cora.
Cora Fisher.
After the invocation of her name, Cora grips her heart in pain. She begins collapsing as Hellboy tries to lift her. Ah!
Cora!
Come on.
Giant green insect carapace crawls out of her mouth. Oh, Tom, run! Get out of here! I'm done for.
You'll be all right. I know you never meant to do any bad stuff, and Cora, you got it.
The witches' heads are all in a line beneath the earth, glowing eyes all staring in the same direction.
Cora Fisher.
Cora explodes into a mass of pale, writhing insects, bats, and reptiles, which attack Hellboy and Tom.
Jeez.
Cora!
The creatures that were in Cora swarm the two, dropping them to the ground, suffocating and gnawing on them as they fight back.
Yeah! Ah!
Ugh. Ah!
Yeah!
Son of a...
As Hellboy is overcome, it fades to black. In the dark, ghostly forms of the creatures surround him as he looks across the lawn towards an old church that gets closer and closer.
Back in 44, some guys found me in an old church.
A church, you say? That's fine. Everybody knows the devil can't set foot in a church.
Inside of the church, at the altar, is a magnificent statue with a figure standing before it in a hooded cloak. The draperies in the window are blowing inwards wildly. You don't really believe that? The figure turns around and is a desiccated skeleton of Cora with the swarm crawling out of her. Do you? Hellboy is brought back from the dream as the last of the swarm are defeated and slither away.
Ah!
Cora!
Yeah, jeez!
I try not to do it, but I think maybe I used my lucky bone to get us out of there.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
No, it won't.
From a gap in the trees, Effie Kolb walks towards them with a demented grin on her face. That's right, Tommy. He gave you that power, and you finally used it. If he didn't own you before, he sure as hell owns you now.
Shut up!
Hellboy shoots at Effie, but misses, hitting a tree branch instead. The night is filled with her laughter.
I kind of wish I'd taken a shot at her back when she was sitting on that horse. Oh, sorry. I mean, your dad. How far is that church?
Not far now.
Tom picks his father back up, and they walk through the night to an old church surrounded by a rickety fence and a number of graves. There are lights on in the church. When they enter, the inside is a mess, littered with fallen pews and cobwebs, lit by a lamp sitting at the table. Reverend Watts is waiting for them. He is old and blind, wearing his clerical attire.
Hello?
That you, Tom Farrell?
How'd you know I was coming?
She told me.
She?
Who?
This girl here. She come in a couple minutes before you fellas, bold as brass. It was a surprise, her being a witch. You don't see her? Well, maybe she's a ghost.
Is it Cora Fisher?
Course it is.
There you go. You couldn't save her life back there at the mines, but you must have done something. She wouldn't be here otherwise.
You don't think it's that she hates me?
The devil might have got her body, but he didn't get her soul. Lord be praised for his little mercies.
Thomas set his father's body on one of the pews. Cora's ghost is visible for a moment. Amen.
I know what you come for, and we'll get your pa buried right proper. Don't worry on that, but we'll hold off on doing it till morning.
Good idea.
What's out there?
Outside of the church, from within the woods, witches approach. Tom and Hellboy look through the windows, and outdoors, witches surround the church, stopped by the rickety fence.
Lots of witches around these parts. Always have been. But used to be more regular folks. Nowadays, mostly just the witches. They come nosing round here most nights. But it's consecrated ground. They can't touch it. The magic don't work here day or night.
You think that's true, Tommy? Amongst all of the hideous witches, Effie has arrived. Inside, Hellboy, Tom, and Reverend Watts observe, and Tom works through his guilt.
I brung this on myself. I took her with that girl out there when I was a kid. I knew it was a sin, but I done it anyway, and she got me mixed up in witchcraft.
You were a fool, Tom, and I guess it's right that you suffered for it. But the Lord knows you've got yourself straightened out, so you'll be fine.
I won't. It's because of me and my pal's dead, and Cora. I tried not to use the power of my lucky cat bone, but I'm sure I did back there at the mines. That means I'm as bad as them.
You cut that out. That's Effie Kolb out there. I knew her since she was little, and she were never any good. You're nothing like them.
Outside, Effie holds her arms out as if summoning Tom into her brace. Tommy!
I am. I'm a witch.
Inside the church, Hellboy starts walking towards the door.
All right. It's about time I...
Hold on there, son.
Hey,
Outside, the Crooked Man is approaching the gathering of witches and joins them.
Let him go, old man. I ain't afraid of him, and I sure as hell ain't afraid of you. You got Tom Farrell in there. That boy owes me something.
The Crooked Man.
And I've come to collect.
The Crooked Man is addressing the church, trying to lure Tom out. Hellboy and Reverend Watts stand near Tom in support. Skip the
Come
page.
on now. Come on now, Tom. You and me had a deal. You wanted that witch power. You had it all these years. Sure, you hardly ever used it. At least not any way I'd like. But you still gotta pay for it. Fair's fair, Tom. Now you come on out.
I'm done for.
A miser he was in life, and that he still is. Don't you listen to him.
Tom. I'm waiting.
Reverend Watts shouts out of the church doors at the Crooked Man.
You get out of here, devil! Whatever makes this boy's maid, he's come to the Lord now!
How long you gonna hide in there, Tom? You're mine. I will wear you out. I will heap on you, son, 100 times worse than what your daddy got.
Tom looks resigned. His father's body is wrapped in its sheet laying on a pew beside him in the church. Reverend Watts holds him back as Hellboy looks on. Scenes flip back and forth from within the church to the witches and the Crooked Man outside.
Don't listen to him!
But he's got me. Fair's fair. I used that cat bone.
At the mines. That was magic. Got you out of there.
I'm a witch.
Don't! That's the devil's trick trying to make you lose hope.
Tommy!
that's it.
Hellboy steps into the church door to confront the Crooked Man and his witches.
Ooh.
The Crooked Man summons posts from the fence and sends them flying at Hellboy, penetrating his chest and knocking him back to the church. The gathered forces outside laugh mockingly.
Hey, oof, son of a...
Reverend Watts helps Hellboy pull the posts from himself.
Hold on!
Come on, Tom. I've got other places to be tonight.
Reverend Watts walks out of the church filled with rage and determination.
Enough! Jeremiah Watkins, you want this boy? You come up here and fetch him yourself.
Better be careful, priest.
You don't want to scare me none. Fetch him clear on back to hell.
Now both of you and me know he's mine. And that's fair. But I'll tell you what I'll do. Just to speed things along, I'll buy him from you. Can't help but notice the sad state of that old church. It's a shame. She looks like she might fall down anytime.
The floor of the church erupts beneath the feet of the men inside, pushed up by a huge pile of golden coins.
Yikes!
How much you figure it'd cost to fix her up? Hell, there's enough for a while for a new church. Statues and bells and silver candlesticks, all that.
You can't buy me, devil.
Is that true?
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Maybe you're just too old to enjoy real money. Maybe if we shaved off 10 years, 20, and we'll fix up those eyes of yours while we're at it.
Reverend Watts gets younger, then younger again. The film over his eyes clears up, and he is now middle-aged with his sight returned. He is anguished by it.
No, sir. I fairly by my years in all my afflictions. I don't want nothing else.
He's a tough old nut. I give him that.
The witches start looking through the fence at the graves surrounding the church.
Abby Riley, you poisoned 2 husbands. How'd you get planted in a churchyard? Abigail Riley, you a pretty little thing.
As her tombstone falls over, Abigail Riley's coffin erupts from the ground.
Holy crap!
The coffin breaks through the front of the church and lands opened on the floor in front of Reverend Watts. Abigail is young and beautiful.
And priest, didn't you always have a weakness for pretty girls?
No.
Kiss me.
No.
As she grasps Reverend Watts's face, Abigail turns into a mummified corpse.
There's Abigail Jacob who beat his wife.
And Nate King, who stole from the government. Kelly Hicks.
Kiss me.
Ah!
Manly languish.
Kiss that.
Hellboy bashes Abigail with his huge right hand. Outside, the witches continue calling the names of the buried along with their sins, their coffins bursting through the earth in a chaotic cacophony of crashes as they fly through the walls and into the church where Hellboy, Tom, and Reverend Watts are now trapped, getting hit by the coffins and fighting the corpses emerging from them.
Flora Sue Baker!
Gus Baker.
Junk.
Liar!
Cheat.
Horror.
Josie Ward! Ada Calda!
God.
Tom, how long you want to keep up this foolishness? What if I was to let you walk out of here? What if I let you keep that little soul of yours a few more years? What's one more or less to me?
The dead fall and explode under Hellboy and Tom's assaults with fists and shovels until sheer numbers start to bury them.
Jack!
You just bring out that lucky cat bone of yours. You never really wanted it. You want to be rid of it? Just give it back.
Reverend Watts curls up in a corner, praying.
Lord, take my eyes away. I don't want to see no more of this.
What you say, Tom?
Reverend Watts has been restored to his old age and blindness.
Thank you, Lord.
I'm starting to lose my patience with you, boy. What about you? Whatever old Tom may or may not be, we know what you are. What did he say? Devil can't set a foot in church? Maybe not the run-of-the-mill sort, but a special one. One meant for special great earth-shaking things, you know.
Hellboy is momentarily engulfed in flames. He breaks out of it and goes back into busting up the husks of the dead.
Shut up!
Come on, be a sport. Reach on over there, snap Tom's neck for me. Fetch me that lucky bone of his. Come out of there. We'll have a good old time.
You hear that? He's not after your soul. It's that bone. The little bit of power that'll give him in hell. He can't stand to be parted with a nickel's worth. You not using that thing for mischief is driving him crazy. And you stealing from him?
I never meant to.
Reverend Watts is filled to the brim with the vengeance of the Lord as he works to free Tom from his thrall to the Crooked Man through the cat bone.
You just hand it here. I'm all fired up. Gonna give it a crack at it.
I think
I'm gonna bust that evil wide open. I'm gonna squeeze it. I'm gonna squeeze the Holy Spirit into this thing.
I feel it. I feel it.
Now give me that shovel.
What?
His rod and his staff, they comfort me.
Reverend Watts draws a cross on the shovel with the cat bone. It's burning a bright white light. He then hands the shovel to Hellboy.
Now here, you take it. You know what to do.
Why him? Shouldn't it be me that?
The worst of your troubles are behind you, son, and that fella's got a hard road ahead of him and no end of trouble. Let him get some licks in while he can.
Hellboy leaps out of the rubble of the church, wielding the shovel. He brings it down in the same burning white light on the Crooked Man.
Ring.
The Crooked Man disappears. The witches cry out and then are hidden in a cloud of smoke. The shovel has broken in two. Hellboy is blown off of his feet and is laying in front of a pile of wreckage from the church.
Damn.
The witches flee, following the cloud of smoke. The pieces of the shovel fall to the ground beside Hellboy.
That was something.
It's the next day. The sun is rising over the mountains, showing a mass of rubble in the churchyard. A new wooden cross is in place bearing the name Charles E. Farrell. Hellboy, Tom, and Reverend Watts stand in attendance.
Rest in peace, old man. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you.
Life's rough, son. Rougher than some others. You just do the best you can. Guess I know where you fellas are headed.
Crooked Man wants that bone back? Guess I'll give it to him.
You already beat him.
Gotta make sure. Then we'll come back and help you clean all this. Maybe we can put up a marker here for Cora Fisher.
I bet she'd like that. Be careful up there.
Thanks, Reverend. We'll be back.
Hellboy and Tom leave the gates and walk off into the woods on their way to the Crooked Man's home. Reverend Watts stands before the wreck of a church with the ghost of Cora Fisher behind him.
As far back as anybody can remember, this part of the mountain's been called the Hurricane. I never heard why. Indians say it's always been bad. They say there's ghosts and critters up here older than the flood.
Hellboy and Tom walk once again in the darkness of the hurricane, full of dead trees, undergrowth, and strange animals.
I can believe it. Wow. I guess this is the place.
There ain't nothing natural about a place like that being way back in here.
A huge Gothic mansion dominates the scenery, complete with sculptures and gargoyles. It is in pristine shape.
I know what you want. You've come for my gold, but you can't have it. It's mine.
As they walk through the house, they find the Crooked Man's current form. It's coils of spines, teeth, crab-like claws, and eye stalks ending in human eyes. It rests upon a table in the house, surrounded by jars of coins.
Jeez, that's kind of pathetic. I almost feel sorry for him.
I don't. You want this, you old bastard?
No.
The
Well-
jars all explode,
Oh,
and the
sorry.
remains of the crooked man. The jars all explode, and the remains of the crooked man crumble to mostly ash.
Well,
Yeah. I'm thinking about that gold, though. I'm thinking those were all the souls he got hold of over the years. And if they were souls, what happened to them? Did I just set them free? Or did he take them back with him? Or he take them with him back to hell?
I don't know.
You will stick around a while, right? Help at the church, then maybe.
You hear something? Squirt, squirt. That who I think it is?
Effie Kolb is hiding in the bushes outside of the house. She is now old and frightened. Please.
Effie Kolb turned old at last. And here, I've been carrying this thing all this time. So I could give it back to you, I guess.
Tom pulls the bridle that Effie had used on his father out from his coat and starts to put it on her. Please, Tommy, don't. Effie turns into a bedraggled horse.
Not a very Christian thing to do.
I like her better this way.
I wonder where I can get me some paint.
Effie Kolb, now a horse, stands with the words, "Beware, I am a witch," written on her side in red paint as Hellboy and Tom walk off into the distance. The end.
The end. The end.
Yay.
Ta-da!
Nicely done. Well,
We did it.
Leo, nicely done, everybody. Great job. Great job. Leo, can I since I think we're done, can I end it?
Yeah.
Focus on me. Thank you. Hello. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us at Splash Pages. We're really glad you could be here. We hope you loved our live reading of The Crooked Man. Join us next week, aka July, when our guest will be the man who has been making Terrificon happen every year. We're excited to be there. The one, the only, the legendary Mitch Halleck will be joining us. It's going to be really great. He's always such a delight to have on. So stay tuned.
Woohoo.
Thank you, Corpse Garden.
Yay!
With that, we'll wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. Definitely check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, for a bunch of links and what we do. Go check out our YouTube page. It's growing. We're at like 440 subscribers, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at
yeah.
like 450, aren't we?
Cool.
No, getting there. We're we got a bump this week, but anyway, go hit subscribe. Go check out our stuff. We're doing some special edits, and it's a lot of fun stuff. And also go check out some other stuff we do, Dork Night and Comics Paradox. I'm sure Justin will tell you about that. And speaking of Justin.
Yeah, check out our other show. Leo, I, and Brandon Powers do a show all about the multiverse called Comics Paradox. And we do another show all about Batman where two of us love the character, and then there's Brandon. You can check those shows out also on The Dorkening and also available wherever you find podcasts.
And what else you do there, Justin?
Epic Tales from the Sewers. I mean, I do 1,000 shows. How much you want to talk about here? I'm totally fine. I'm just...
Sounds good. Gary.
Hey, everybody. You can catch me here every Tuesday with this fine group of gents.
Hey.
And outside of that, I am also on the Owlite Network, which is part of the Dorkening as well. We currently have 15 shows going. You will find me on most Sundays, Mondays, and some Thursdays, I believe every other Thursday, and maybe some other days. Just all depends on what the show is that we have going on. If you want to talk to me in person or check out my writing and things like that, look up Carrie Sanders on Facebook. If you see a picture of a crow, that is me. It has all my links to my author pages, my author site, all my Owlite stuff. Go there, find me, and enjoy.
Jar Jar.
Hey, check me out on Facebook, Jeremy Courtney. Check out Comic Book Lovers Buy Sell Trade and Auction House on Facebook, where you can buy, sell, trade all your wonderful comics and toys and whatever else you collect. Here every Tuesday and most Wednesdays I'm with Still Token. This week they're got I Will Be Done, this heavy metal band or something like that I will not be a part of because I'm taking the week off.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna relax at home. But yeah, that's about it. I got a haircut too.
Oh, you did? Did you get them all cut?
Well, most of them. I don't know. Does it look? How's it look? It looks a mess right now.
I think you missed a couple.
Probably.
Looking good. Looking good. Mr. Drew.
Very more.
Oh, sorry. Hey, everybody.
What a crooked man.
Yeah. I'm more like the sleepy man now. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Splash Pages. As you can see, I've already reclined, which means the show is coming to an end. You can find me on Facebook, Drew Malo. I'm Ghostbuster 1984. The content is aplenty. I'm busy. I'm everywhere. I'm working on a lot. So just hit me up. I'll do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, stay cool. It's going to be a hot night because it's the summer.
We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.